In the north woods of Alabama, one river system dominates the landscape. A select group of competitors has one more challenge ahead. 200 began, only 10 survived. Old pros, young guns face off for the last time. Getting here was tough. Winning here will take all they've got. A chance to end the season on top and make dreams come true. From Pickwick Lake, Alabama, this is the Everstart Series Championship.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Look at that bad boy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Glory ticket, $500,000
Throughout our great country, love for the sport of bass fishing runs strong. And if you follow the tournament trails, then you know the storied history of this event, billed as the stepping stone to the top level of the sport. Anglers from coast to coast have gathered at one of the finest fisheries in the world to test themselves against the best and stake their claims to the $1 million purse. It all happens here on beautiful Pickwick Lake in Florence, Alabama. Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Leibowitz, along with Charlie Evans. This is the Everstart Series Championship, a $1 million event. And it's the first time in the history of this series that we've had a $1 million purse. And Charlie, this series is usually used as a platform to vault careers to the highest level of the sport.
There are 5 different divisions of the Everstart Series. Guys fish all year long trying to make that top 10. They will be eligible to move up to the FLW Tour next year.
No surprise to see who our top qualifier was, Jonathan Newton. And Jonathan Newton has plenty of history on this lake, very successful on Pickwick Lake. In fact, he won here back in 2003.
He definitely has home court advantage here. He knows this Tennessee Valley River system better than all the other 9 competitors combined.
Another guy with plenty of experience is Dave Lefebvre. The Kellogg's pro knows how to win. He's won on the top level at the Walmart FLW Tour, and he would love nothing more than to bring home the championship trophy here.
Matter of fact, he won just up the road in Nashville, Tennessee, Old Hickory Lake last year. He'd love to add another victory here, and he's got the tools to do it.
Dave's going to have to outfish 9 other professional anglers, though, and each of them is paired with a co-angler for the day.
It's a tough top 10 competition out there, led by Steve Kennedy, who was a circuit point leader in the Southeast Division, had that huge 16-pound stringer on day 1.
A couple of guys that have been on Steve's tail all week long. One right here, Jerry Green. He finished the first few days an ounce out of the lead. And then there's Jonathan Newton. He may have home court advantage, but he says that fishing here in November is a whole new game.
The thing about this time of year is so hard to catch fish. I mean, you can just look at the weigh-in and see that. It's hard to catch fish, and I don't fish this time of year. Typically, I'm usually deer hunting, and so it's tough. I mean, I have confidence because, you know, I know the areas, but it's hard for me. I have to go out and practice, just like everybody else.
And that includes the 200 pros who started this event, along with the 200 co-anglers. Their weights from the first 2 days determine the top 10 in each category who advanced to today's round. The pros will fish today and tomorrow to decide a winner. The co-angler winner will be named later this afternoon.
Talking about decisions, when they leave the takeoff, they can turn right, run down through Pickwick Lake, through the Tennessee Tom-Bigby Waterway into Bay Springs, or they can turn left, lock up into Wilson Lake, and even if they want to, lock one more step up into Wheeler Lake and fish those amazing grass beds up there for some huge largemouth bass.
Charlie, as we know, time is money, and really depending on how many locks these anglers want to go through will determine how much time they have to fish for the entire day. Alabama is one of the Gulf Coast states, but we're a long way from the ocean. The Tennessee River runs along the northern edge of the state. A series of dams has created a whole chain of lakes along it. Florence is located in the northwest corner of the state, with Wilson Dam just to the east, and that's where we find local favorite Jonathan Newton.
Well, lock 1 down, lock number 2 to go. This is everybody else is down there casting, and we've hardly made a cast. Getting to eat breakfast. It's just a really relaxed life that we have up here.
The Wilson Lock and Wheeler Lock are east of Florence. In the other direction, some anglers are making a 90-mile run west across the Mississippi state line, down the Tom-Bigby Waterway to Bay Springs Lake. And that's where we find Jerry Green in the Lowry's boat. He's made the run with his co-angler James Chapman, and for him it was worth the trip.
Really wasn't doing real well. I come down here to Bay Springs, and every day I come down here, I got a 5-pound spotted bass. Boy, when you catch one down here on this jerkbait, it's a good one.
We'll be following Jerry's progress all day long. This is Toby Hartzell and his co-angler, Art Cornett. They're fishing out of the 7-Up boat today. Toby is from Livingston, Texas, qualified here through the Central Division. And there we go, a first hook set.
Got one headed toward the boat. This will be his first keep of the day if he can get it in. Taking his time, make sure the fish stays down. All right, he's got keeper number 1 in the boat. He's going to mark the spot, throwing out a marker buoy there, so he'll make sure he stays around where fish are feeding and biting, try to catch another one in that area.
And we've seen several anglers do that, not only in this competition, but in other competitions throughout the season. Over now to the pull-on boat where Jack Gadledge and his co-angler, Lou Southard, are looking for an early catch.
There we go. It's a good one.
Jack's got one hooked up here. Good fish.
You ready? That'll work. All right, set her down.
Yeah, that'll do real well.
About a 3-pounder right there. 2 3/4, 3 pounds. We'll take it.
Goes into the live well. Very nice start for Jack Gadledge. Hang on tight, everyone. The Everstart Series Championship is just getting underway. Much more ahead on Walmart FLW Outdoors. The 2005 Everstart season consisted of 20 events held in 5 regions around the country. The top 40 pros and co-anglers from each region earn the right to fish here and a chance to be a champion. Ozark Trail Pro Andy Morgan and his co-angler, the only woman remaining in this field, Donna Newberry, have a 1 in 10 shot at winning it all. And even for a seasoned pro like Morgan, being in the championship puts the pressure on.
It's like going from, I would say, a high school to a college sport. Then when you go to the FLW, you know, it gets a little cruder and a little ruder out there. It's a little tougher competition, so it's another step up. It's like going to the NFL then. You gotta have all your ducks in a row.
And Andy has all his ducks in a row. He qualified here through the Southeast Division, and he's on one, Charlie.
And quickly got it in the boat. Looks like a small fish, but if it's a Kentucky spotted bass, it could be a keeper.
Andy. Now, ain't that a specimen there?
That's a specimen that might keep. The spotted bass must be 12 inches long, and the Tennessee River system is a bass buffet with largemouth and smallmouth, and to keep those, they must be 15 inches long.
My board says we're on the scoreboard at the Great Pickwick.
A thriving fish factory. It's getting better. I'm going to have to keep repeating that. It is getting better.
Andy Morgan is just one angler whose career has gotten a jump start from Everstart.
The Everstart probably launched my career.
It's the way I came up, and that's the way a lot of guys come up.
It's the stepping stone.
It's an awesome series.
It's how I got into the professional fishing business.
It's just a good way to get started, I think.
The culmination of everybody in the United States that fishes their own circuits, and it's the best ones of 5 different divisions being here, so it's one of the toughest competition events.
This is a really good training ground for what you should do and what to look for and expect in the FLWs.
I think the Everstart Series is a great deal for up-and-coming fishermen.
I contribute a lot of my success to the Everstart Series.
A lot of guys, like you say, like to stay in the campgrounds.
This is my home for the week.
Yeah, this is the front yard right here.
All right, this is the main entrance.
All these guys are bass tournament guys. Let's go in and I'll show you the behind-the-scenes look at a pro fisherman.
TV, VCR, DVD player.
The big screen Tetris.
Everything's miniature.
Gotta have a nice soft bed.
Queen-size bed.
It's actually a king-size bed.
Sliced peaches.
Tacos,
Hamburger helper.
spaghetti,
Crackers.
stir fry.
Sweet corn.
I'm eating good.
If I had $1 million, I'd still camp.
The bathroom is a long hike. What are you doing in my bathroom? It's very rare to have a bathroom 6 times the size of your house. What'd you get on me there? There's a guy in the shower.
It's life on the FLW Tour.
You're always going to have guys who don't have the big sponsors, don't have the money to do, and they got to start out small.
You get a chance to make some money, and you don't have to pay that much in entry fee.
The Everstarts is what gave me the financial security.
You know, here in the championship, it's $140,000.
If you really got confidence in your fishing, you need to go do it.
For your money, I mean, this is the deal here.
Fishing, I don't care if I'm fishing for $100 or $100,000. I'm just gonna go fishing.
Back to fishing and the Everstart boat, where we find West Coast pro Gabe Boulevard and his co-angler Jerry Goebel already having an exciting morning. Gabe landed an early keeper.
Oh, we got, it's going.
But no sooner was it in the live well than he landed this one and a little something extra with an ouch to it.
Oh man, I'm hooked bad. It's all the way through the barb.
Out on the water in a situation like this could be trouble. It could have ended his fishing day.
It's bad.
But fortunately for him, someone out there knew how to get this bait out of his finger.
Did it come?
Wow, the good news for Boulevard was that his camera boat driver, Daryl Stevens, knew exactly what to do. And then right after that, his co-angler, Jerry Goebel, hooked up the right way, not in the finger, but with a nice fish. And Gabe's not letting the injuries slow him down.
I got a big one. Come on, baby. Yes! Yes! All right, number 2.
This custom-made, one-of-a-kind Japanese crankbait is working great on these rocks.
Gabe Boulevard already has 2 keepers in the boat, but Dave Lefebvre is still trying to get on the board. He's a man in motion looking for a sweet spot. In this tournament, they haven't been easy to find.
Hi, I'm Kellogg's pro Dave Lefebvre. I'm fishing for $140,000 in the Everstart Championship. Come on back.
Welcome back to beautiful Pickwick Lake in the 2005 Everstart Series Championship. Ball is in the air here and the fishing has cooled down as well. But Western Division angler Roy Hawk already has 1 keeper in the Castrol boat. On the back deck is his co-angler Matthew Parker, and he better get the net.
He's got a good keeper headed that way, again fishing deep bluffs up on the upper end of Pickwick Lake. He's one of 2 Western Division anglers that fish here, making a great showing in the top 10.
Thank you. I don't think that'll make it either. Thank you, Lord.
It is a good-sized largemouth bass, which has to measure out to 15 inches long if it is going to be brought to the weigh-in scale. Here's a guy having a great season, pedigree pro and Alabama native Steve Kennedy. His co-angler today is Mark Ginn.
And what a year he has had. Circuit point leader in the Southeast Division, 3rd place in the Central Division. He has torn up the Everstart Series.
And this is his 4th Everstart Series Championship appearance, and Steve Kennedy has one on.
He had been throwing a buzzbait up on the bluff, same area that Roy Hawk's fishing, but has moved down to the lower end of the lake, down by the dam, throwing a jig. He's got a real nice keeper hooked up here.
Oh, dude. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be really close. How's that for plan B? It didn't take long.
Plan B was to head for deeper water, and it's working for Steve Kennedy. Here's Jonathan Newton in the Stickers boat, only about a mile from his house. He was the top qualifier here, and last night he showed us how he prepared for today's semifinal. Out of the Stickers boat, hometown favorite. Let's hear it for Jonathan Newton.
Welcome to my house. This is Wesley Strader, a good friend of mine that's doing nothing but taking up couch space.
This is Yo FLW Cribs.
Every time a tournament's close to here, he stays with me, and if I go up that way, I stay with him.
You think the moon's made out of cream cheese?
I don't know. This is Tracy. This is my wife. She's my best friend, and the reason I do what I do, she's a huge supporter of me. We'll be married 13 years. She keeps me in shape, keeps me fed. She does everything. All I do is fish. But Wesley is, he's the blame for all this. He comes in town, he just messes everything up.
Who, what, where?
I mean, I'm talking about you.
Oh, yeah, I mess everything up. It's my fault.
Let me show you where Wesley Nah, never mind. Your room's a mess.
And this is my bed. It's pretty nice. Don't mess it up. I've never slept in the camper.
You'd like it. It's got everything you need. Wesley and his trading cards. You can't go nowhere without the cards. They're everywhere. This is the only thing my wife wanted when I won the last tournament. So she got the Louis Vuitton, Everything was good.
I had to buy mine a horse trailer.
This was the first Everstart. Then a year later, I won the Kentucky Lake Everstart. This one is going to go right in the middle. I'm feeling pretty good about tomorrow. Once you make a top 10, the weight is off your shoulders. All you have to do now is go out and fish 2 days. The worst you can finish is 10th, and that's not bad.
You put your britches on one leg at a time, just like everybody else.
I'm really calm right now. I'm just going to get a good night's sleep and go out and see what happens tomorrow.
You know, Charlie, a lot of people peg Jonathan Newton as the favorite in this event. He's really reacted well to the pressure.
It hasn't bothered him at all. Again, fishing the back end of the creek here. Rocky ledge banks. He's got a good solid fish heading toward the boat.
Attaboy. We're on the board.
His first keeper in the boat. That'll help him. Good net job by the co-angler.
Well, 2 locks. 1 fish is better than 2 locks, no fish.
Hopefully that one fish will get his day jump-started. Over now to Kellogg's pro Sam Newby, who is on his plan B, which is fishing the boat docks, and he swings one in.
He has started out fishing grass, been fishing grass all week long. That's not working, so he switched to flipping boat docks. Now he's getting something started.
On the board.
And that has got to be a relief. These anglers cannot relax at all out there with the big bucks that are at stake. Here now is Jack Gatledge, looking for keeper number 3, and he is hooked up. Nice hook set.
Great job. He's fishing a green pumpkin tube, concentrating on areas that have a lot of bait fish. This time of the year in the fall, huge schools of bait fish swimming around. That's what he's looking for, throwing that tube, working it real slow. It's a great minute imitation. Very effective job. That's keeper number 3 into the boat for Jack Gatledge.
And those are 3 hard-earned keepers. This is a day that would challenge even the most seasoned pros, and it has only just begun. Jack Gatledge puts that fish into the live well, and he will get right back to work. And we'll be right back as well at the 2005 Everstart Series Championship on Pickwick Lake. Come on back with us. This is the 2005 Everstart Series Championship from Florence, Alabama. We're not yet halfway through the day, and conditions are proving very difficult for the anglers. Jerry Green sacrificed a lot to be here, but he says it was all worth it. Fishing out of the Unilever boat from Justisburg, Texas, it's Jerry Green.
First place. There's nothing else on my mind today. Ever since I was a kid, I fished out of every little piece of water I could find. Sometimes that might be the dog bowl, but when I decide to do something, I do it all out. It's been a great year for us. This is our 3rd top 10. I quit a good job with the major oil company. Everybody thinks or thought I was crazy. I don't regret a thing that we've done. Be able to go at it and make a living doing it it's a dream come true, no doubt.
Jerry Green, a great family man as well.
There's fish. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Woo, baby. Come to daddy. Come to daddy, big mama. Woo! Yeah. Now we in the game. Now we in the game.
That's the way to get started. That bass there, well over 4 pounds. Using a Lucky Craft Pointer 78 to catch that fish. A great jerk bait.
Jerry Green from Justisburg, Texas. Back over now to pedigree pro Steve Kennedy, out in deep water.
Good fish. Came off that edge. I knew I was in the right spot. It's heavy. Oh, yes.
That tickled Steve Kennedy. That fish about 3.5 pounds caught on a Carolina rig lizard. His second keeper of the day. Again, fishing real slow down in that deep water. Great hook set, good solid hook set. Fights him right to the boat. Good job, Steve Kennedy.
Think of that. Skinny, though. Man.
Skinny, but it'll keep. In fact, he would take 5 of those skinny creatures right up to the scales, and he'll do just fine. He's happy. Here's Jonathan Newton fishing his 3rd Everstart Series Championship, but it's the first time he's made the top 10. Let's take a look at what he's using.
He is throwing a half-ounce black and blue Strike King jig, and he is tipping that with a Zoom Blue Super Chunk trailer, a great jig and pig combination the fish up here really love.
And Newton is looking for his third keeper of the afternoon, and a very casual hook set there, but he's got one on just under the boat dock there.
He can get him out from under all the cables. Good net job for the co-angler. Jonathan really wanted to make this championship. He fished the Southeast Division of the Everstart trying to get here to his home water. Didn't make it there, so he signed up for the Northern Division, qualified in the Northern Division to get here to this event.
And he also found time to fish his first full Walmart FLW Tour season in 2005 as well. Back down to the Castrol boat where Roy Hawk is looking for his third keeper.
Got one hooked up here.
And you can see by the movement of Hawk on the boat, he's putting some muscle into this fish. It could be a good-sized one.
Woo! And he's excited about it. Good, solid keeper, about 4 pounds.
This is the first Everstart Series top 10 for Roy Hawk. Another one of those guys coming from the West Coast, adjusting very well here in Florence, Alabama. Over now to Sam Newby, and things could be heating up here, folks, because Sam Newby just landed his third keeper a few moments ago.
Still early in the day, but he's got his third keeper on the boat, pitching a jig and pig in his plan B, fishing around boat docks. Now he's got 3 keepers in the boat.
And he's got his line right back in the water. Sam Newby is nothing if not persistent, and here he goes again.
What a hook set. Bam, the fish picks it up. He hits the fish into the boat.
Yesterday, he caught 4 keepers weighing over 12 pounds, moving him from 33rd right into the top 10, and he's looking to make another move in the final 2 days.
Hi, I'm Sam Newby. Come on back for more great fishing here at the Everstart Championship.
Anglers from all over the country are facing challenging conditions this week. For those whose home waters are thousands of miles away, it's learn fast or go home. Charlie, you have to be impressed with the way the West Coast is representing here at the Everstart Series Championship. 2 of our top 10 in our final field hail from the West Coast, Roy Hawk and Gabe Bolivar.
They traveled the farthest and had to adjust the most. Usually used to fishing in deep, clear water impoundments with finesse techniques, but they adapted very well here on Pickwick Lake.
And here's Gabe Bolivar from Ramona, California, down near San Diego, and he is having no trouble here today. Gabe used to be a motocross rider. He said he broke so many bones after riding, he felt like he wanted to do something that was safer, and he took up professional fishing.
Keeper spot.
And he's doing very well here, landing another fish.
Got him a good solid pattern working on that crankbait. Getting miles and miles and miles of rip-rap to fish in the Tom Bigby waterway system.
This is a far cry from the dirt tracks he grew up on, but he's very comfortable out here on the water. And we know one thing about Bolivar is that he likes the competition.
That's number 4, baby.
A couple of his good friends from the West Coast making the trip out here to cheer him on. That fish goes into the live well, and we head on over to Sam Newby, who has 4 in the boat so far.
Still working those boat docks with that jig. Slinging them into the boat.
Didn't even need the net.
That's his limit. Keeper number 5.
And it's not just the numbers of fish that count, it's also the size.
Made the top 10 in last time I was here in the Everstart Championship.
Dave Lefebvre has 2 top 10s in championships here on Pickwick Lake, but this time around, he wants the title. One of the most recognized names in the sport of bass fishing, it's Dave Lefebvre.
What up, dog? House, driveway, no grass to cut. Great. That's Lake Pickwick right there. Everybody's out there on the water except me. That's what I should be doing right there. But no, I'm standing here in my front yard with you guys. You know, I did it the way that you're supposed to. Saved up my money, you know, I wasn't a rich kid. Made it to this Everstart trail and went right on to FLW. I have a lot of friends that fish the Everstart. I know everybody. What do you think about that guy? You all right? You got a steering problem? Ann and Mitchell, my son, they come with me on the FLW trail, but on the Everstarts, I'm solo. It gets lonely. I mean, I'm not away from them very often. Gonna be fishing a jig all week. Got one. It's a big one.
Most people kiss their fish.
I kissed my jig. On the FLW tour, I'm always focused on points. And on the Everstart trail, I can just fish. You get to come down here and get a crack at 140 grand. That's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome for one of the most likable anglers on tour.
Fishing for 5 hours today, though. Good one. And finally got one hooked up. What a hook set for Dave Lefebvre.
And he swings it into the boat. We've seen a lot of hook sets so far this week, Charlie, but that was about as quick as they get.
Dave Lefebvre is technically perfect, but his fishing is got some adjusting to do. Had great stringers when the current was running really strong in the first of the week. Now he's struggling here today. Maybe that one will get him started.
Pickwick Lake is not making things easy for anyone out there. Walmart FLW Outdoors continues after this. Florence, Alabama is home to this year's Everstart Series Championship. We asked local angler and three-time championship contender William Davis to show us around.
Hi, I'm William Davis, Ranger Yamaha Pro, and today we're going to take you around and show you my hometown and the Shoals area and a little history and Southern pride. We're here at Spring Park in Tuscumbia, Alabama. We're fixing to see if we can get a train ride here. What? Can we get a train ride? Can we ride your train? I may be the chief engineer before this day's over, huh? We're here at Fame Studios, world famous recording studio, and Justin here is going to show us around.
Y'all doing? Little Richard, which is Jerry Reed. She got the gold mine and I got the shaft. The Allman Brothers were formed in this studio too. That's what Muscle Shoals is. It's the crossroads of country rock and soul. There's a picture outside of Otis Redding sitting right there.
Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tides roll away. This right here, this car's got Auburn Tigers on. When you live in Alabama, you're an Alabama fan, an Auburn fan. There's no riding the fence. Roll Tide. He's got on the right hat. You see that? We're at W.C. Handy's birthplace. This is his home and museum. He's the father of blues. W.C.'s the one with the big cheeks. This is the only school that has lines. They have two of them. Kitty, 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 kitty. I did attend here for a while. This is William Davis, your new conductor here at Tuscumbia Spring Park. Y'all all aboard! How fast will this thing go?
Yeah, it'll go fast.
Let's see what she'll do. Here we're at Helen Keller's birthplace and museum.
This is the home of Helen Keller. She was born here June the 27th, 1880.
We're in downtown historical Florence. One thing's for sure, if you come here, you won't leave hungry. The best chicken salad ever made, Trowbridge's Restaurant. Have you ever heard of William Davis, superstar? Davis, Mac Davis. You remember Mac Davis?
Sure.
Oh, I'm no relation. You didn't realize that was my uncle, did you?
Mac Davis?
Yeah. William Davis, Mac Davis.
You lying to me?
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed your tour of Florence, Alabama, and the Shoals area on this beautiful fall day. I got to get to practicing for Okeechobee. I'll see you next season.
You know, he's not kidding. The Okeechobee tournament begins in January. Back here now with Jonathan Newton in the Snickers boat trying a last-minute change of strategy.
We just came through on the Wilson Lake, came out of Wheeler on the Wilson, got 3 fish. Day is winding down, but I've came into the creek here, fished these weed beds a little bit, and I'm gonna flip a couple of docks.
We got to lock back through down to Pickwick. Something needs to happen.
Dave Lefebvre feeling the pressure out there. Only one keeper in the boat today. He had that huge string on day one, over 15 pounds, fishing the current on main lake humps. Now that the current's died down, he is struggling. His primary weapon, a 9/16-ounce Stanley jig thrown on fluorocarbon line, but he's got to find an area that he's got confidence in to get started today.
Here's pedigree pro Steve Kennedy looking to turn his day around fishing near the bluffs.
Paralleling that bluff, making casts straight down the bluff, very effective presentation.
Like it a little easier. God, they're awesome fish. That's bigger than the one I caught in practice. In the same spot.
That fish over 3 pounds caught on this football-headed jig in very small, compact lure by PJ Lures. 3/8 ounce in size and tipped with economic green pumpkin double-tail grub.
What you think? Is this fun or what?
It's a lot more fun when you're catching fish, and Gabe Boulevard, the Everstart boat, has been doing it all day long. Let's take a look back at Gabe Boulevard's afternoon. He was hot early on, and Then he even hooked himself.
Oh man, I'm hooked bad. Number 3. That's number 4, baby. Yes, yes! Woo! My luck is finally starting to turn around.
That is for sure. He is one of the only anglers with a limit right now.
Oh, son! Oh, it's a big one. Come on, baby. Yes!
And now he can cull. You can only take 5 fish to the scales. He'll throw one of the smaller ones back and add this one to his live well.
That is a long, skinny one right there, but it's gonna be a 15-incher.
He's right on pattern. He's got miles and miles and miles of that riprap to fish. He's staying on the trolling motor, getting fresh water all the time. As long as he's keeping that bait in the water, he's got a chance to catch one.
Oh, son! My luck is getting better. Get rid of that little spotted bass.
And of course, the riprap you mentioned, Charlie, referring to the wall of rocks that line the canal. And there is the spotted bass that he's gonna cull.
My little one's going.
We practice catch and release here at FLW Outdoors. That is what it's all about. You know, locking through does not always guarantee reward. And for some anglers, it did not pay off, including one of the favorites, Dave Lefebvre.
No, we gambled and we lost. It ain't over yet, but the gamble wasn't. The gamble's over. So, yeah, we're locking back to Pickwick.
Dave Lefebvre maintaining his sense of humor. Still plenty of time for last-minute heroics. Come on back with us for more on Walmart FLW Outdoors. 400 anglers started this event. Among them were a married couple, Brian and Renee Hensley. They're having a great time, even if their personal and professional lives sometimes get tangled up.
Hello, I'm Brian, and this is my wife, Renee Hensley. We've been fishing probably, 10 or 12 years together now. Those 2 are yours, these 2 are mine.
There you go.
We kind of met through a tackle store. I worked for a tackle store.
I go in and buy stuff.
One thing led to another, and this is our life on the road. No alcohol, no smoking. Doesn't say no fishing. Renee's a co-angler, and I'm an angler. Better grab a rain jacket just in case we're ready to go fishing.
You're driving.
There you go.
Back in 2001, I ended up winning the championship down here. I need to downsize, but I don't. I'm a woman, I bring everything. This.
A shot of my spare sweatshirts.
That's his maps. We got crankbaits everywhere. He makes great jigs.
This is pretty much how I spend the evenings.
Remember, make me a couple. I want to turn pro. That's my main goal, and I would like to do this on the boater side.
Pros fish from this end. Co's have to fish from that end.
Back of the pool. You get to that side of the mat, and I'll just get right under it there. There it goes. Then it might get a little bit more competitive since we'll be fishing against each other, and I don't know how that's gonna work.
No more making jigs for her then. She's got to make her own jigs.
Make my own. I've helped a lot of pros out. Yeah, Roy Hawk.
Great job, Roy Hawk, going to the top 10.
I gotta thank my AAA partner, Renee.
I hook this fish, reeling it in. Renee jumps up with the net. I mean, she's quick with the net.
You want to come under, because as they're lifting up, they may come off, and you've got it right under the fish.
Gets underneath it. I bring the fish all the way to the surface.
I had one come off in the air, and she netted it.
And she scoops it midair, catches a fish in the net.
I said, you want your fish?
That ended up being my 5th one. I weigh my fish, and it actually bumps her husband out of the top 10.
That happens. That was my job.
I love you, honey. You came back from behind. You did awesome.
Man, what a double-edged sword.
That's fishing, you know. That's the way it goes. Give me a kiss.
That's fishing. Back down to Gabe Boulevard.
This could be a good one. Oh, it's a big one. Oh! Get that, baby, yes! Yeah.
Gabe can feel victory. It's within his grasp. He has got a great pattern, and he is fishing with confidence.
That one helped right there.
Fantastic effort today by Gabe Boulevard. Even as he has a hook go through his finger, he still performs.
All right, that one there helps.
It certainly does. He's throwing that crankbait, one that was given to him by an angler from Japan, handmade bait, It's got that flat, square bill that bounces off those rocks. The fish love it, but there's some danger to that. Bounce around all those rocks, tears it up. He's got to keep it together.
That's a good one.
He came all the way from California, and now Gabe Boulevard has a big-time shot at winning the big bucks. This is Jerry Green, and he has struggled. He left Bay Springs, his early week hotspot, and went back up to Yellow Creek to try to change his luck.
Running out of time. I need to find some fish in a hurry, somehow or another. It's been a tough day. Went up to Bay Springs, and my jerkbait bite didn't happen, so I'm back down here in the mouth of Yellow Creek, crankbaiting, looking for some largemouth. Hopefully they'll start biting here pretty quick.
You might want to try fishing along the bluffs. They've been working well now for Steve Kennedy.
They sure have, Keith. Steve's paralleling those bluffs. Got another one hooked up here. He's caught one since we saw him the last time. This would be keeper number 5. Into the boat.
Right. Oh, it's not a big one, but should keep.
A slow morning has turned into a hot afternoon for Kennedy.
He'd caught only 2 down by the dam, but throwing that buzzbait right up against the bluffs, and the fish are eating it up. Wow, he's got things going.
That was an awesome bite. Did you notice that is the same type deal, the backside of the bluff. That's 3 in a row.
It took me an hour to get down here this morning. It's a little bit windier today than it was yesterday, and it was kind of rough, so I want to get going right now, give myself a little bit extra time. I'm really happy that I got a limit, though.
And while Gabe heads east, others go west through Wilson Lock, and they'll all meet in Florence for the weigh-in. And we'll go there as well next. It's an all-out sprint to the finish for the anglers coming out of Wilson Lock. And it's been a tough day on the water for these competitors, but their time, Charlie, is up.
Keith, they've got to make it back to McFarland Park in Florence by check-in, or they'll be penalized 1 pound for each minute they're late. And there's a lot on the line here. $140,000 in cash and prizes, including a new Ranger boat for the champion.
And again, on the pro side, it is a 2-day shootout. As for the co-anglers, their champion will be crowned today. This has been a week of challenges, but we've also seen some big bass. Even on tough water like this, these anglers managed to pull in some hogs. But only one could be the Snickers Big Bass. And that goes to Matt Herron and his 6-pound, 1-ounce monster that took the prize. Not a bad way to end his Everstart season. And the Big Bass Award also earns him $1,750. The crowds have gathered inside the weigh-in tent at Walmart here in Florence. This is a tournament where every ounce counts, so the action at the scales can be just as exciting as that on the water. The weigh-in is about to get underway. Let's go to the stage where tournament director Chris Jones is running the show. And Dave Lefebvre, who got off to such a strong start in this tournament, stumbled today. Just one fish weighing 2 pounds, 4 ounces. He'll have an uphill battle if he's gonna make a big comeback. 7-Up Pro Toby Hartzell also weighs in just one fish, nearly the same size as Lefebvre. Jerry Green has just one too, but it's almost twice the size of the others who've weighed in. The local favorite, Jonathan Newton, brings 3 fish to the scales, but while he has the numbers, he doesn't have the weight. Just 6 pounds and 8 ounces. He'll have to do better tomorrow. But the Californian, Gabe Boulevard, steps up with a big-time limit. He traveled thousands of miles to be here, and now he's making the most of it.
11 pounds and 14 ounces, your new leader.
Ozark Trail Pro Andy Morgan does not have much to show for a day's work. Just 3 fish weighing 5 pounds. Roy Hawk did slightly better with his 4-fish bag, keeping him in contention for tomorrow's final round. As for Jack Gadlich, he also has 4, weighing 9 pounds. And Kellogg's pro Sam Newby has a limit, but he's over a pound shy of Boulevard's weight. When Steve Kennedy steps to the scales, he pulls out the kind of fish everyone was looking for, and he's got a limit. It's a winning combination, 12 pounds, 2 ounces. After leading this tournament on day one, he is the front runner again. But he cannot relax. Tomorrow's another day, and as you can see, it's anyone's game. The co-angler winner was decided today, and Jerry Goebel, using a homemade crankbait and sharing a boat with Gabe Bolivar, takes the title with a 4-fish sack. He wins $62,500 in cash and prizes, including a beautiful Ranger boat. Congratulations to all the co-anglers who made the top 10 final. Nobody's going home empty-handed. The pros, they're going back out to the water. The final round of the 2005 Everstart Series Championship when we come back. One final day of competition here on Pickwick Lake. The last chance for the 10 anglers remaining to take home the title of 2005 Everstart Champion. For most of them, day 3 was a trial, but all of them know that the big fish are out there. And as they head off on the hunt, it will be every man for himself. And they'll all be chasing pedigree pro Steve Kennedy. His quick thinking on day 3, his ability to adapt and change his strategy put him in the lead heading into the final day of competition.
There you go. I really didn't want to be leading this thing. And I've led 2 this year and blew a 4-pound lead in both of them. And you have to think that having, 10, 20 boats around you has some impact. It couldn't be my fishing,
For Kellogg's pro Sam Newby, consistency is the name of the game. Each day of this tournament has seen him go up in the rankings. And like Steve Kennedy, he also adjusted well to the changing conditions. But it's been 5 years since he scored a win in the Everstart Series, and he's never won the championship.
It's about like fishing for anything else. I'm just going fishing again today. I fish just as hard if I'm fishing for 140 as I do for 40. Matter to me. They say it's a competition, I'm there.
And then there's the Western Division wild card, Gabe Bolivar. He came from nowhere and just barely made the top 10. With just 2 years on the Everstart Series, his competition did not know what to expect, but Gabe delivered.
That's a good one. That's a huge one right there. I got just as good a chance as anybody here. I feel like I'm in a good area, and I feel like it's my turn and it's my time. They're going to bite for me. So I'm going to go with that in mind and fish hard as I can all day until we got to come in.
So they will head out on the water one last time. One final chance to make this season the best of their careers. None of these anglers has ever won this event. One of them will earn a place in the record books. Tune in next time for the conclusion of the 2005 Everstart Series Championship from Florence, Alabama. The world's greatest anglers have one more chance to show what they've got. Challenge Mother Nature and prove they are the best. A high-speed ride to one of the biggest prizes in the sport. A dream come true. $1 million on the line. This is the day to do or die. This is the 2005 Everstart Series Championship.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Florence ticket, $500,000
Florence, Alabama, a city rich with U.S. history dating back to the early 1800s. Along the shores of Pickwick Lake, it is said that battles were staged here during the Civil War. This week, the country's biggest fishing battle is underway, as anglers from the north, south, east, and west gather for 1 week to test their skills, to show off their fight, to become a champion. From Florence, Alabama, this is the 2005 Everstart Series Championship on Pickwick Lake. Hello, everyone. I'm Keith Leibowitz, along with Charlie Evans. Final day of competition here at the Everstart Series Championship. This is a $1 million event. Charlie, we started with 200 pros representing 5 divisions of the Everstart Series, and ironically, now we're down to 10, and all 5 divisions are still represented.
The Tennessee River has proved to be the perfect neutral site for this championship. All 3 species available: smallmouth, largemouth, spotted bass, and everything you'd want to fish from deep clear water, 80 miles south, to two locks, weed beds for perfect largemouth fishing. Everything's here to make you feel comfortable.
No surprise to see who's on top of the leaderboard right now. It's Pedigree Pro Steve Kennedy, and what a year he has had. He has dominated the Everstart Series in 2 divisions.
He was the champion in the Southeast Division, outfished everybody, 3rd place in the Central Division. He certainly is on a roll.
Yes, he is, but a guy that's right on his heels, hails from the West Coast. He's a former motocross rider, and his name is Gabe Bolivar, and he too would like to win this Everstart Series Championship.
Our Western Division anglers love this championship. Brent Ayler won it last year in Lake Cumberland. They'd love to make it 2 in a row.
The atmosphere at McFarland Park is intense. The entire season comes down to this one day. For the competitors near the back of the pack, like Dave Lefebvre, there will be no more chances to catch up.
I dug myself a giant hole this time, and you know, I've caught 22 pounds on Tuesday, the day before the tournament, so I know what's out there. If I can do that today, that's all it'll take.
Catching 22 pounds today would be almost a miracle. No one came close to that yesterday, but for Lefebvre sitting 10 pounds out of the lead, that's what it might take. But there's just as much pressure near the top of the leaderboard. Gabe Bolivar starts the day in 2nd place.
It'll be really an adrenaline rush when I catch that first fish. My heart will stop then.
A tough day yesterday made a lot of anglers rethink their strategies, like Kellogg's pro Sam Newby.
I got 2 areas, and it's 2 different deals, and one of them didn't work yesterday morning, and the other one did, so I'm gonna go with plan B this morning.
All eyes are on this man, Pedigree Pro Steve Kennedy, the leader by 4 ounces.
I'm gonna go up to Wheeler Dam and do the same thing I've been doing, but I hadn't thrown at those fish in about 4 days, so maybe they'll bite. These have gotten a little finicky. I don't know why, but could have something to do with the current. It's completely off today, so.
What Steve's referring to is the amount of water let through the dams that creates current, which causes the fish's position. This being Saturday, not much power is required, so not much water going through those turbines. He's moving up below the dam where he gets a little bit of water movement. He hopes to catch them there. It's a gamble.
When they head out of the marina, these anglers have a lot of ground to choose from. They're fishing an area about 150 miles along the Tennessee River system, including Pickwick and, Charlie, 2 other lakes as well.
They can lock upstream to Lake Wilson and actually lock one more time up into Wheeler Lake. Also on the very near the dam end, through the Tombigbee Waterway into Bay Springs Lake. So a lot of opportunities and a lot of different type of water.
We have everyone from locals to West Coast anglers fishing in this tournament in the final round. The locals can sometimes get stuck in familiar but ineffective patterns. To be legal in this tournament, the largemouth and smallmouth bass must be a minimum of 15 inches long. The spotted bass have to be at least 12 inches in length. The state of Alabama sits in the heart of the Deep South. The Tennessee River system flows across the northern part of the state. The city of Florence is on Pickwick Lake, just downstream from the dam that forms Wilson Lake. And the Wilson Lock is the first stop for any angler who wants to fish east of here. But Pennsylvania native Dave Lefebvre decided to stay on Pickwick Lake.
Fishing the pilings of Natchez Trace Bridge. Going to jig, got one hooked up.
Oh yeah, big one, big one, big one.
Good fish, what a great way to start the day. Yesterday he struggled, one small fish caught late in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, puts a good keeper in the boat.
Alrighty. That's what we're talking about right there.
Throwing that jig and pig, working it down around the pilings. Those pilings make a current break there. The fish hide around the pilings. He's got one good solid fish. This fish over 3.5 pounds. This will give him the kind of jump start he needs.
Nice one, huh? Good way to start it off. He popped it. Usually when they pop it that hard, there's a bunch of them there.
Kellogg's pro Sam Newby is methodically working the docks at the western end of Pickwick Lake. Sam has been fishing this area for the last couple of days, and he's had great success.
This is the Pickwick Landing State Park Marina. A lot of boat slips with boats in them. He's fishing every single inch of every single slip with that jig and pig, and he's got one hooked up here. Started early, he's caught a limit every day. Here's a good keeper in the boat, looks like one about 1.5 pounds. Sam, again, very consistent every day, getting a limit out of those slips.
Good start for Newby.
Number 1.
Started the day in 3rd place.
Come on out there, sunshine.
Here's Ozark Trail pro Andy Morgan. He's also near Pickwick Dam.
And he's got one hooked up.
Amazing hook set there, and he flings him into the boat.
That's right. Don't let them start biting. Hurt somebody's feelings. That should be number one right there.
That is number one. Thick, heavy cover. Flipping that Zoom brush hog in there. He is perfect to get that bait just in the right spot.
A great start for Andy Morgan. That is a largemouth bass, and it does measure out to 15 inches long. It's a keeper.
Meat, baby. Meat. Don't let Daddy get on a roll.
Meanwhile, we roll on over to our leader, Steve Kennedy, still looking for his first fish.
I'm pretty excited, considering the fish we've lost this week. I'm definitely getting the right bites.
Getting a little tangled up there, too. No one said it would be easy, even for our leader. The big fish are out there. The question is, who will find them? Come on back for more of the 2005 Everstart Series Championship. One angler this morning has gone way out on a limb, run about 50 miles through 2 sets of locks up to the Decatur Flats at the far end of Wheeler Lake.
And this is a perfect day. Perfect day for doing this. Water level's just right.
Jonathan Newton was one of the pre-tournament favorites in this event, and why not? He knows where the fish should be. He ran up to Wheeler the first 2 days, and then he ran up there again yesterday. He only caught 3 keepers. Right now, he stands in 6th place. And as a hometown hero, he's feeling the heat to move up.
I try not to get a lot of pressure put on me, but yeah, you put pressure on yourself to do good. And I mean, a lot of people's pulling for you. They're expecting you to catch them. You know, I've heard that so many times. Well, you're supposed to catch them, you know, but it's not always like that. It's sometimes it's hard to catch them in your home lake.
That is a lot of pressure for a young man fishing on his home lake. Jonathan Newton still looking for the first keeper of the day, Charlie.
He has moved up to an area known as the Decatur Flats.
There he is. There he is.
Throwing a buzz bait, he's got one hooked up.
Come on, baby.
All right, good, solid keeper. This is a great way to start the day. Oh, get him in the net, Jonathan.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That'll get him pumped up.
Look at that. Yeah, that's how we can win this tournament.
Fish that size, 5 that size, could pull him out of the hole. But he'll have to do a better job with the net. He nearly knocked that fish off with the net. He's got to be more careful.
All that pressure he talked about just moments ago, a lot of it lifted off his back with that fish.
He's throwing a Strike King buzz bait. Makes a lot of noise, comes across the surface, attracts fish from a long way off. A very effective tool for fishing this big Decatur Flats area.
Now back with Jonathan Newton once again, continuing to fish the same area. He really did gamble by coming up here, but it has paid off early for him.
This is a huge area, the Decatur Flats. Buzzbait, a great way to cover a lot of territory. Oh, he's got another one hooked up literally a minute after he caught that first one.
Come on.
Into the boat. He could have a good school of fish here. He could make up a lot of ground in a hurry.
Jonathan Newton building big-time momentum for himself right now. The other guys that are ahead of him on the leaderboard had better watch out.
Number 2.
Newton fishing out of the Snickers boat will put that into the live well, and we move now to Sam Newby. Hasn't traveled nearly as far. He is still working the docks on Pickwick Lake.
And he's got one hooked up here. He is picking these docks apart, making sure he puts a bait in front of every fish there.
Oh, that's a spot.
That'll keep then.
Bonus.
Absolutely, 12-inch keeper spot. That'll help him getting toward the limit. That's fish number 2. Every single day he's catching the limit. He's going to be slow and steady. It could pull out a win.
Might be the ounce or 2 I need.
And Sam Newby is speaking from experience because back in 2002, he won an FLW Tour event by just 1 ounce. A few good catches by anyone could change this whole game.
Hey, I'm Jonathan Newton. Come on back and watch me try to win $140,000 at the Everstart Championship on Lake Pickwick.
200 anglers began this event, all with their eyes on winning it. In 2001, it was an Everstart rookie, Joe Baylog, who won here by just 1 ounce. That's the subject of this Castrol flashback.
What I always wanted to do was be a professional fisherman. And oh man, winning the championship. You know, when I was struggling, that really meant the world to me as far as being self-employed.
See, come on.
It adds a ton to your confidence level.
There. Oh, my.
To be able to come out and fish with that caliber of fishermen who I consider just dominant tour pros, it's a lot of fun. It almost makes you feel like you don't deserve it when you do good, like you're lucky. I've always done really good on the Great Lakes tournament circuits, so to go somewhere else and do well makes you feel like you're a little bit better than just a local on Lake Erie, so that's really good for me.
Jonathan Newton is a local in this tournament. He's been working his home waters about 50 miles east of Florence this week. Today, he's changed his tactics a little bit and gone even farther away to Decatur Flats.
This is probably the craziest thing I've ever done, by leaving waters that I know are full of fish and running this far to, you know, for 2 hours of fishing. Man, first 10 minutes catch 3, so it was the right decision. This is a huge risk. I mean, it's, you know, 2 locks and then another 30 miles on top of that. I mean, it takes some nerve to do that, and I didn't even know I had it, but I guess I do.
The risk-reward factor is paying off for Newton. Sam Newby isn't taking any risks. He's still working the docks on Pickwick and landing fish.
Hit it right when I was coming over the bar. There he is. Come back and got it.
He got a second chance on that fish, spit it out, but then came back and got it.
Yes!
And got him in the boat.
That's when you're living right there.
It came loose from the hook, but it came loose after he was in the boat. That fish is in the boat. That's the way you win tournaments.
Years of experience for Sam Newby are paying off right now here on Pickwick Lake. That's going in the live well. The Kellogg's Pro definitely in contention here at the championship. Californian Gabe Bolivar went from 113th place on day 1 to 10th on day 2. He had another exciting day yesterday. Let's take a look back at day 3 and what happened to Gabe.
Oh, we got it. It's a good one.
It started off hot,
It's bad.
but then he hooked himself in the finger and his day could have been over.
Huge one right there.
But Gabe stayed the course and landed 7 big fish and put himself in contention.
His secret weapon, a handmade bait from Japan, given him by a Japanese angler. He's only got one like that, so he's got to make sure he stays together. He's been gluing the lip back onto that bait. He needs to get one more day out of that. He could carry him to victory.
He joined the Everstart Series just last year, and he's already in his 2nd championship. Fishing is his 2nd career in sports, and it's much safer than the first one. From Ramona, California, fishing out of the Everstart boat, Gabe Bolivar.
I've been fishing since I was probably 6, 7 years old. My dad got me going when I was a baby. Pro for 5 years. This could be a good one. Oh, get that baby, yeah! Yeah! That one helped right there. I used to be a professional motocross racer. I rode supercross, traveled around the United States. 22 years old, I got hurt real bad. I broke like 13 bones and I quit racing dirt bikes. I always loved to fish and I never really thought I was going to be a bass pro, but I kind of just picked it up to, you know, get that competitive edge, and it's just snowballed. It's been unbelievable.
A 5 bass limit for Gabe Bolivar.
Motocross buddies, I don't think that they understand what this is all about. If somebody actually came to a bass fishing tournament and saw what this was like, it would be pretty amazing, you know what I mean? They'd be like, wow, that's cool. I like to be outdoors. I love the mornings, and, you know, I do like the adrenaline. I like my boat to run fast. I like to pass people, you know, that's exciting. I like coming around corners and cutting buoys and, you know, doing stuff like that, jumping over wakes. That stuff's fun. I'm just happy to be here. You know, it's fun. It feels like the big leagues. You know, you come here and it's exciting for me just to make the cut and be able to be here and fish. I mean, I don't even care what I get. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it was a success now no matter what.
And as far as we're concerned, the motocross world's loss is our game.
Speaking of loss, he lost most of his fishing tackle. Somebody broke into his truck just prior to the tournament. He's had to borrow a lot of equipment, but he's made the top 10. He's going to make a great showing here. Everything is downhill from here for Gabe Bolivar.
And he's about to bring another fish into the boat here. No co-angler to help him with the net.
It is not a keeper.
Doesn't think it's a keeper. Got to be 15 inches long if it's a largemouth.
Darn it. Oh, it's a spot. Yes.
It is a keeper.
It's a spot. Awesome.
Only got to be 12 inches.
All right, that's number 1 right there.
He finally has got a keeper in the boat. He's really excited.
That's a little spot. All right.
So Gabe gets on the board and moves up the leaderboard just a bit. Our leader heading into the day, seen right here, Steve Kennedy, has yet to catch a fish. The morning so far has all been about Sam Newby. He's been the most consistent angler thus far.
I'm Gabe Bolivar. Stick around for more exciting fishing from the Everstart Championship here in Florence, Alabama.
Welcome back to the final day of competition in the 2005 Everstart Series Championship. There are only a couple more hours left to fish and the pressure is on. Dave Lefebvre landed an early keeper.
Got a bite on both those points. It's a good sign.
He weighed in just one fish though yesterday, so he needs to bring a big sack to the scales today. And today, Dave has decided to stay on the main lake. But far to the west, across the Mississippi state line, about 75 miles through the Tom Bigby Waterway, you'll find Bay Springs Lake. It's a long way to go in search of winning bass, but Jerry Green has made the trip again.
He's made 3 top 10s this year, 1 in an FLW Tour event, and he won an Everstart Central Division on Sam Rayburn.
Making a top 10 for the first time, it's nerve-wracking, you know, and now, you know, I've made this, I guess this will be my 3rd, so I feel a lot more comfortable now. When I made the top 10 at Okeechobee, it was real overwhelming, and it really affected my fishing. And also now I know that I can win at this level, you know, because I won in the Everstart, so I feel like I can go, you know, and win in the FLW also.
And he feels real comfortable down here in Bay Springs. It's deep, clear water, a whole lot like back home in Justisburg, Texas. He's working that jerkbait.
Oh, baby, come on.
He's got one hooked up here.
Come to daddy. Come to daddy.
Taking his time, he's been catching some magnum spotted bass down here at Bay Springs.
Yeah, Charlie, he was never lower than 3rd place the first 2 days of this tournament. Yesterday, though, he only brought 1 keeper to the scales.
He's got some ground to make up with that tough day yesterday. He knows he's in an area, into the net, good job. He knows he's in an area where he can catch huge fish. He caught over 27 pounds of bass down here on the first 2 days. These are Kentucky spotted bass, huge football-sized chunks, the kind he needs to make up some ground. This kind of fish right here, if he gets a limit of those, he can make a move.
And if he does get a limit, those size fish make the 150-mile round trip all the more worthwhile.
Spot. Not as big as what we need, but he's a start.
It is a start, and we move now to Toby Hartzell in the 7-Up boat. He's still seeking his first fish of the day.
Only had 1 keeper yesterday, just over 2 pounds. He's hooked up here. He needs this quality fish he had on day 2. 3 keepers there that weighed over 12 pounds. Get it in the boat. That gets him on the board. He's got to start.
No sooner or later I can get a bite.
And he did. Take a look at it again through the Kellogg's bow cam.
Not a very graceful hook set. Had to rush all the way to the back of the boat to get that hook set in that bass's mouth.
1 in the live well for Toby Hartzell. Kellogg's pro Dave Lefebvre are working a new area now, still looking for a 2nd keeper to help him come from behind.
What a hook set for Dave.
Good fish.
He is fast as lightning, got a good quality fish into the boat.
Right.
He's building some momentum now.
It's number 2. Don't want to dance in the end zone yet.
Dave Lefebvre is back in the game. The competition here at the championship definitely heating up.
Charlie, one of the guys that's been flying under the radar all week long is Kellogg's pro Sam Newby. And now, Sam actually has a shot at winning this championship.
You're exactly right. He has not had any huge stringers during the week, but he's been very steady, very consistent. He brings in a good solid limit today, and he could win this thing.
He hasn't been doing much running around today, just sticking to the docks, but that's Sam Newby. Quiet, consistent, and very effective.
One who's familiar to top 10s from Pensacola, Oklahoma, it's Sam Newby.
The Everstart Trail is how I got into the professional fishing business. I won an Everstart tournament the first year I fished the whole series, and there was one on my home lake. And I thought, well, I'm gonna fish them all. When they come to Fort Gibson, I'll have a good chance. And it worked out great. Kind of just stepped up to the FLW from there. And everywhere you go in Everstart, you have a few more locals on each lake than you do in the FLW tournament. So it's actually almost as hard to win an Everstart as it is at FLW, I'd say. There's a lot of fish here, but this time of year, these fish get locked in on them live yellowtails, and it's just hard to feed them anything else.
I lost a couple of good fish yesterday. I should be leading this thing right now. Maybe I'll get them all today.
On the board. If somebody can catch a limit both days, I'd say they're gonna win it.
It is a kicker, 5-fish limit.
I don't care if I'm fishing for $100 or $100,000. I'm just gonna go fishing.
And that's what makes him a great angler. He is so focused, it's unbelievable. Targeting these docks, he has not moved in 2 days.
And here he goes again with another hookup here.
Keeper number 4 into the boat. Sam is so steady, so consistent. He is not affected at all by what other anglers catch. He's not worried that somebody's catching 14-pound stringer, 16-pound stringer. He's going to bring a limit every single day.
Ask for a spot and you get a spot.
And think about this. Gabe Bolivar only has 1 fish in his live well. Steve Kennedy is still trying to get a fish into his live well. And Sam Newby, the Kellogg's pro, is nearing a limit. He's got 4. He started the day in 3rd, and now the field is chasing him.
Hi, I'm Sam Newby. Come on back for more great fishing here at the Everstart Championship.
Welcome back to the final hours of the 2005 Everstart Series Championship in Florence, Alabama. This has been a tough tournament, and today is proving to be the toughest of all. Here's Jerry Green fishing way out in Mississippi. This is the best season of his career. So far today, though, he's only been able to land 1 keeper.
Oh, there he is right
Got one
there,
hooked up
baby.
here.
Oh, this is one I've been looking for right here.
Big fish.
Woo. Come on, baby. Oh, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. Don't do it. It's foul hooked. And barely. Foul hooked.
Could be trouble.
Woo.
Into the net.
Lord, thank you.
What a relief to get that fish into the boat. It was foul hooked. That fish slashed at that bait, barely missed it, but caught him right down underneath the lip. He got him in the boat, played him real slow. He's relieved to get that one in.
Another nice one.
This is a day when anglers are thankful for anything they can keep, especially a good fish like that. About halfway between Jerry Green and Pickwick Lake, Gabe Bolivar is fishing the Tom Bigby Waterway. He had a great day yesterday with a limit that took him into 2nd place, but that was then. Today, he's had just 1 keeper, and just moments ago, more heartbreak.
That's definitely a good one. Oh, oh, stay button. Did you get off? You got off. You got off! Man!
That loss could have cost him the title and a lot of money.
For an angler who is in position to win this championship, that hurt. And now here he is again, still trying.
Got one hooked up here.
He's a keeper, though.
That will help. He's got to stay focused. He's got to be mentally tough. He has fished here for the last 2 days up and down this waterway, brought in 2 good, solid limits. He knows what this area can produce. He's got the right bait. He's got the right area. He's got the right pattern. He's just got to find some fish that will feed that are the right size.
He's going to take out the measuring stick to make sure that fish will measure out. It must be 12 inches in length for a spotted bass.
All right, he's number 2. They're not big, but now I need 3 3-pounders and I'll do it.
Over now to pedigree pro Steve Kennedy, who started the day in the lead. It's become a familiar position for him this year, but he hasn't been able to win a tournament, and taking the title here would redeem his season. From Auburn, Alabama, here comes pedigree pro Steve Kennedy.
I'm just hoping I can catch my bites. Been getting out every day.
Steve Kennedy will lead the charge.
Oh! It's just a matter of putting them in the boat. I'm nervous, so I'm excited too. I'm from Alabama, but it's probably 5 hours up here for us. I really didn't want to be leading this thing. Yeah. I've led 2 this year. Oh. Blew a 4-pound lead in both of them.
We have a champion, Kelly Jordan.
If I don't win and I blow another 140 grand, that's what, $300,000 I've had a chance at? That was nuts. Couldn't be my fishing, you know. What you think? I haven't won an Everstart. To win a championship would be great, but hopefully I can get 5 in the boat. We'll take our chances.
5 would seal the deal for Steve Kennedy.
He's just trying to get 1 in the boat now, and this is the first hookup of the day for Steve.
Finally got something going. Take his time, get him into the boat. Nice and easy.
Stay down, stay down. Oh yeah, it's big black. Big black. I gotta get that net out there.
It's a largemouth, not a smallmouth or a spotted bass. This is a critical time here. He got it. Oh. He had it. Don't let it get away.
Baby.
Well, that fish almost bounced back into the water.
Good hook set. Good job of playing the fish, but not real graceful with the net, and really not good once he got him in the boat.
You're not supposed to be in here. Can't talk now.
Largemouth bass must be 15 inches in length. He's measuring that fish out, and it does measure. Yesterday's leader, Steve Kennedy, finally on the board.
It's never over till it's over.
Words of wisdom from Jonathan Newton as he begins his long drive back to Florence. Still, he has plenty of time to fish and maybe stage an upset.
Hey, I'm Steve Kennedy. Stick around for more from the Everstart Championship here in Florence, Alabama.
Earlier this week, 200 pros and 200 co-anglers came to Florence chasing a dream. All of them hoped that when the fishing ended, they would be the ones at the front of the stage. Jason Knapp is a young angler widely considered to be the hottest newcomer on tour. He qualified and competed in this Everstart Series Championship. Jason Knapp is making waves wherever he goes.
But I gotta catch him now. We're gonna make a run. Yeah, I tell you what, I started fishing BFLs when I was 16 years old. We're just gonna go right up here just a little bit. And gradually moved up from the BFLs to the Everstarts, and I'm fishing the FLW, which is, you know, has the greatest anglers in the world. And to be able to learn from them for 4 years of fishing out of the back of their boats is it's amazing. I think I can compete out there, I really do. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm still young, but I've been doing it for a long time. And I feel like I can make the step up. But the money's, it's hard out there. I got a van, and I camp in my van. Hey, welcome to my crib, come on in. And I don't eat out every night.
The most important thing, the microwave.
Yeah, it's scary. I need to win a lot more. I think I can do it. It's a great experience. You get to fish with some of the world's greatest anglers on earth. JT Kenny and Clark Winlet.
He's a great guy. I've spent just a little bit of time around him, and I think he's the real deal.
He seems like he's one of the most focused guys out there when he's on the water.
Yeah, I really don't like Jason too much. You know, I've known Jason for a long time. He's definitely got, I think, what it takes.
And he is a very technical angler. You can tell that he doesn't miss anything that happens around him.
You know, mechanical ability really means a lot on the tour, and I think he's got that.
And he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
For him to say that, you know, that's really neat. It also gives me confidence. I think every angler out there shoots for Angler of the Year. You know, to make the championship and the Angler of the Year would be my crowning achievement.
Lofty goals for a young gun, and even though he's not fishing in the final round, he's still part of the action, working as a driver for our camera boat following Gabe Bolivar. And here is Gabe Bolivar right now, searching for fish number 3.
Got 2 in the live well. He needs to pick up some steam here.
Come on, fish. Dang it. Give me a 3-pounder. 3-pounder is what I need right now.
He's getting desperate.
I got a nice one.
He's hooked up here.
Oh, it's a big one. It's a 5.
He thinks it's a 5-pounder. He was begging for a 3, and now he may have a 5 on the line.
Let's take his time, get this fish in the boat.
Yes! Yes!
All right.
What a feeling.
That'll give him a rush. That right there will catch up a lot of ground in a hurry.
Yes!
Not a 5.
I got a nice one.
But a good solid 4-pound fish. Great job. He's sticking with it. 1 or 2 more like that, he's in business.
Yes!
This is worth the thousands of miles that he's traveled to get here for this event.
Oh, baby.
Oh, and a little smooch as well. It goes in the live well. It's definitely looking like fall here in Alabama. Hey, here's Ozark Trail Pro Andy Morgan. A little while ago, he landed his second keeper. Here's a look back.
Working every single piece of cover. Good solid hook set here. I mean, he's manhandling this fish and throwing him into the boat. And he's working every piece of wood up and down this bait, and he's hooked up again. Keeper number 3 into the boat, but they're all spotted bass, not very big. He needs 2 huge fish to get back on top of this game.
Andy Morgan, though, will move up the leaderboard just a little bit, and every spot you move up the leaderboard means big bucks. Now we're back with Kellogg's pro, Dave Lefebvre. Just one keeper yesterday, trying hard to make up some ground today. Here he's on another one.
Oh, come out of there, Betty. Come out, come out, come out. Thank you.
Giant hook set, got it headed that way. Taking his time. This is a big fish.
It's giant, man. Oh, it's a catfish.
Oh no, a catfish.
Now that my heart's stopped.
That is unbelievable. We thought he had a huge bass. Ends up to be a catfish that smashes his dreams.
Yeah, that really is a heartbreaker. You thought Dave was going to move up the leaderboard big time there, and now it appears as though his championship dreams are done. We're going to the weigh-in when Walmart FLW Outdoors comes back. Today, Florence, Alabama will see the crowning of a new champion. One determined angler will join the ranks of others who have earned the Everstart title, like our 2002 winner, who is the subject of this week's Fuji Fine Picks Photo Flashback. Kobe Krieger grew up in Osceola, Indiana.
Started fishing with my dad when I was 7, 8, 9 years old. I've just grown up loving the sport, and it's in my blood.
In 2002, a boyhood dream became a reality as Kobe won the Everstart Championship.
2 pounds, 8 ounces, Kobe's the champion.
I've won it once, and it was a big thing because at that time, former tournament director Jerry Stakely's wife was battling cancer. I wanted to win this tournament for them, and that's what I wanted.
While it was an emotional victory, the win left Kobe hungry for more.
That was a great feeling. Wanted to win it 2 years in a row, and that didn't happen. So, yeah, I definitely want to win it again. Hopefully someday I will.
Best of luck to Kobe. Now over to Steve Kennedy, who's looking for a last-minute miracle.
There'll be one sitting down here on the other spot. He ate it. He ate it.
Hitting at that buzzbait. Finally got it hooked up. That fish was up chomping after that buzzbait.
Looks like a keeper.
He got one hooked up finally here.
Not believing it. He came back a third time.
He hit that thing 3 times before he finally got him hooked up, and he got that buzzbait working again along those bluffs.
Now remember, Steve Kennedy was our leader heading into today's final round. Not many fish have been caught out on the water. Steve Kennedy is all of a sudden back in the hunt. We are going to have a showdown at today's weigh-in.
These 10 finalists have pushed themselves and the time to the very limit. Now they're heading back in, some of them trying to replay the day in their head, see if there's anything they could have done different. $140,000 at stake. This is a time for nerves.
In spite of the pressure, these anglers don't always think about fishing. In fact, we asked some of them who their college football national championship picks were in today's Ask the Angler.
Who's going to be college football's national champion? I don't know.
Florida State.
I don't know. University of Texas.
Looking to the end zone, got Jarrett, touchdown. Big hole this time, and look out.
University of Tennessee.
I'm going to go with Alabama on that one.
I don't watch college football. Go Noles.
Go Horns.
Who's going to win football's national championship?
Crimson Tide.
Of course, LSU Tigers.
Probably pull for Penn State. Tennessee Vols.
Garnet and Gold in 2005.
USC.
We're about to find out who the national angling champion is in the 2005 Everstart Series. The competitors are checking in now at McFarland Park. And after the anglers check in, they hit the road. The boats are powered up one last time to get onto the trailers. Then, the competitors can sit back and relax on the ride to the weigh-in tent. It's an eye-catching procession, complete with an escort from the Florence Police Department. Roads are closed as they travel through town. It gives fans a chance to see these high-powered machines up close. The drive ends at the Florence Walmart, where anglers and their fish head in for the final act. The tent is packed with fans. This is the end of 4 days of competition, the moment of truth for 10 dedicated anglers. The weigh-in is underway. Let's go down to the stage where Charlie Evans is running the show. Steve Kennedy's day 3 sack of 12 pounds, 2 ounces is too much for Toby Hartzell. With only 2 keepers over the past 2 days, he is eliminated. Kellogg's pro Dave Lefebvre could not recapture the magic he had earlier in the week. Only 2 keepers, he too is eliminated. Bay Springs provided some big fish for Jerry Green, but his long ride only netted him 2 keepers. He's out of the running. So is Ozark Trail pro Andy Morgan. His knowledge helped him land 3 today, but they're not enough to keep him alive. Local favorite Jonathan Newton. He rolled the dice on a long ride and was rewarded with a string of keepers. His daring strategy is paying off.
2 fish here that weigh 6 pounds, 15 ounces, a new leader, Jonathan Newton.
So Jonathan Newton, a pre-tournament favorite, raises the stakes in this championship battle. But it was Steve Kennedy's competition to lose, and he still has not weighed in. Neither has the West Coast wild card, Gabe Bolivar, who managed to land a couple of big fish on an otherwise difficult day. But at the moment, Newton sits on top. Will he stay there after the other anglers weigh in? We'll find out when Walmart FLW Outdoors continues. Welcome back to the 2005 Everstart Series Championship from Florence, Alabama. Our leader right now is a local favorite. His name is Jonathan Newton. He sits on top, but next to the scales is Kellogg's pro Sam Newby. And what a day he had. Patience, consistency, always on the fish. He brings 3 to the scale here to take over the lead. 2 more anglers are eliminated before the new kid on the block, Gabe Bolivar, steps up for the first time. And he is certainly not empty-handed.
I think that'll get it done. These 2 fish here weigh in at 5 pounds, 13 ounces, a new leader, Gabe Bolivar.
And that proves to be too much for day 3 leader Steve Kennedy, who brings just 2 keepers to the scales. It's a tough loss because it's the 3rd time this year he has missed a win after leading on day 3. Local favorite Jonathan Newton has just 1 small fish left, and it's not enough. He is eliminated. Now, only Sam Newby can snatch this win from Gabe Bolivar. His slow and steady approach made him the only angler to catch a limit on both days of the final round. While others roamed far and wide, he stayed with his strategy, and it worked.
Winner of over $381,000. He needs 3 pounds and 3 ounces to take over the lead. Here comes fish number 5. Gabe, come up close right here. Got 2 fish here that weigh in at 4 pounds, 5 ounces. He's weighed in his limit. You're our leader right now.
So seasoned pro Sam Newby has passed 8 other top anglers and taken the lead. But he doesn't have the title yet. A young gun, a man living an Everstart dream come true. Gabe Bolivar has 1 more chance. He only needs 1 pound, 3 ounces to do it. We crown a 2005 Everstart champion next. There are just moments to go in this competition. Only 2 anglers left. Gabe Bolivar has 1 more shot at the title. This tournament has already been a dream come true for him. His first championship top 10 in just his 2nd season on tour. A win here would change his life. But there is a very serious obstacle standing in his way. His name is Sam Newby, and the veteran fished this tournament like any other, calm and steady. The title is on the line.
He needs 1 pound and 3 ounces, 1-3. That's just fish number 1. Now this is his 3rd fish. He needs 1 pound and 3 ounces. Have you got any more?
I don't.
All right, this fish weighs in at 1 pound, 1 ounce. Sam Newby, you're our champion. Come around front quickly.
An incredible win for Kellogg's pro Sam Newby. Talk about taking it down to the wire. He comes out triumphant in a tournament where the pressure never let up, and he wins by a single ounce. So the Kellogg's Pro walks away with $140,000 in cash and prizes, and it's the 2nd time, incredibly, that he has won a tournament by a single ounce. Congratulations to all of the anglers in this tournament. But even as this championship goes into the record books, a new season is about to begin. Next month, professional anglers will face each other again on Florida's Lake Okeechobee, and we'll be there to bring you all the action. Log on to FLWOutdoors.com for the latest bass fishing news and tournament updates. For Charlie Evans, I'm Keith Leibowitz. Thanks for watching.